Hey guys, Sean Zinn, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor. This is live number 38 on the year. I'm providing value to you, the ones that are watching right now. We want to make sure that you are learning things because the more that you learn, the more you're going to earn. And it's all about taking action. So you might hear my guests say different things, but if you're not going to apply it, take action, implement, use it, we're never going to know the full extent if you're going to be successful. So don't just listen to us, apply. Use and tell us if you've been trying some of the strategies, the tips, tricks we could probably say sometimes that are working. Let us know so we could definitely spread the wealth and let people know that we're just not talking for the heck of it, So let me bring on my guest. I have Jay Levine. You've seen before, my good friend Jay Levine. What's going on, my man?
Well, what's happening, Sean? Thanks for having me.
And we have Will Esposito, a brand new real estate agent. What's going on, Will?
Not much. Happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
This is awesome. I definitely appreciate taking some time out of your days, guys. This is going to be great. I know, Will, you just passed your got your license, and maybe you're going to pick up some tips and tricks today. You might have heard some things from Jay already, but you're going to hear it in our conversation too. So it'll be good for you to hear, and you definitely apply and take action.
Will is an action taker for sure.
That's what we want to do, and that's what we want to focus on as far as our community. Jay's been around for many years now, and we're good friends, and we're all about providing value. It's not just about selling on these lives. We're just talking about how to help others. And we were talking before we went on live, and we want to talk about how to use the phone to prospect, not just to call random people. Like, I would love to hear some things that Jay's doing. And Jay, you're going to teach some things to Will. You might even teach me a couple things. I'll share some of the things I'm doing. It's something that it's all about not being afraid to share what you know, because it's going to help others. Because we just talked about it. A lot of people won't take action. You could tell people exactly how to do something, and if they don't do it, they're never going to find out. So not many people will take that action. So Jay, let's hear some things that you're doing with the phone and prospecting.
So first off, Sean, again, thank you for having us here. Really appreciate that. Yeah, Will got his license passed the test a couple days ago. So the good news about Will and exciting thing is Will's already been joining our team huddle for the last few weeks. So he's immersing himself in our culture, in our training, and we've talked about this before, Sean. It's not just the typical real estate training here. We train influence, we train integrity. Influence is the only superpower that us mortals can attain. So we definitely train that. So thank you again for having me here, Sean. Always appreciate reaching out to your connection, your ecosystem. So, the phone thing, Will and I, ironic that we were talking about this or that you brought up this subject, because Will and I were actually speaking about this and how to get clients. And I think, one of the things we think about right away is door knocking and flyers and reaching out to our circle and picking up the phone. And when you talk about picking up the phone, and Will and I had a conversation about calling people with intentionality, and everything we do here is intentional. And, you have the groups like for sale by owner, expired listing, you have, list pendants for people in potential tax trouble. But at the end of the day, those lists are red ocean. You're not just the only one calling these people. There's a lot of people calling them. And you know what? You have to make a really good impression. And we teach here, and we don't have enough time to get into that. But one of the things that we teach with integrity-based human influence is about how to build rapport, effectively, and how to connect with people and how to find out what's at stake for that person before telling them how great and what it is that we can do for them. So, just being on the phone is one thing, but being on the phone intentionally with having effective conversations is a totally different ballgame. So how do you find blue ocean? Where do you go to find people that aren't being called every day by another sales rep, another real estate agent you're going to get mixed in, unfortunately, when you go and you say hello to that person? So who do you call? So one of the examples that I want to bring to the table is we have a listing in a local town here in Bergen County, and the sellers only want to be in one town specifically in Bergen County, and that's it. So obviously that's a big challenge to narrow down, not only to coordinate the timing with selling their home, to coordinate that with buying another one, but to buy another one in a 1.5 square mile radius, no less. So what we did was we said, okay, well, how are we going to get in touch with people? And we did just that. We went and we actually prospected people that weren't looking to sell their house. So the great thing about calling someone that's not looking to sell their house, although it's changed a little bit in this market because there are agents out there that are getting smart to this, and they're calling people that aren't selling to see if they'd like to sell. But with integrity, we had clients that truly were looking for a home in this specific town in a specific price range. And what it allowed us to do, it allowed us to target who we wanted to speak to, and it was very intentional. So the results were amplified, and how many people that were willing to say yes to a further conversation was amplified because of how specific the target was. So I really feel that having great intention is something that's super important. So we made 1,800 phone calls to not only residents, but residents multiple times if we didn't get a hold of them, and we started to filter through, and we did get some appointments out of that. Unfortunately, because this is how the game works, it doesn't always work out as a sale. But what I would say was a huge win is we got in the ears of about 25 real people that in the next few years will be looking to sell their house, and now I have a direct contact with them. So it's not always about getting that immediate result, and that's, I think, one of the main distinctions here, and then I'll kick it back to you, Sean. That's one of the main distinctions here I have about calling for sale by owners, calling people selling their house. If you want to work harder and call a lot of people looking to sell their home, that's great. But I would rather work smarter and actually call ecosystems that have the same intention I do. So if I can work with Sean, we want to find buyers and sellers. We don't sell the same product. We are no longer competing. We're adding value together. And that opens up a whole avenue of potential buyers and sellers. So rather than work more and call more people, it's about calling intentionally the right people. And you can break that down even further. If I want to make nice with divorce attorneys, with estate planning attorneys, with accountants, those are all great. And I could go and call those accountants. You know what else I could do? I can call an association that has 50 of those accountants. So now I'm going a level above that. So that's, for me, the intentionality around the phone calls you're making. Yes, make the bulk phone calls to the for sale by owners, the list pendants, and those, but really fine tune ecosystem partners and figure out ways like this to add value to the clientele that you have now or that you want to have.
Well said. Lots of value in there. If Will is taking notes and people that are watching are probably taking notes, there's a lot of different opportunities that you can just sit down and call segments of clientele, segments of professionals. Very key. Now I want to put Will on the spot. Will, you just got your license. If you call somebody today, how are you going to introduce yourself? Because when I call somebody, let's see, what would you say when you call? If you're calling me today, I want to put you on the spot. How would you go about that call?
What's our past? Is this a complete cold call, or is this someone that I already know?
We're buddies. We're buddies now. But I told you at a barbecue that I was thinking about moving, and I called you first.
So, Sean, I'm not going to, I don't want to interject here, but Will has a secret weapon that every morning at 9 a.m. we're on a huddle call together, and he's learning the power of influence. And I believe he knows exactly where to start because it's not about scripts. It's about connecting with people. But go ahead, Will.
So I would start off by just checking in with you, seeing how you're doing, and really learning about where you're at right now and catching up in that way.
Definitely agree. You have to go deep with people. I always bring up, and I say, my name is Sean Zinn, the connection machine, aka the insurance doctor. Some agents will say, "Oh, I'm a home." They come up with a catchy slogan. You have a tagline, so it's not just a normal phone call. When I say, "Hey, I'm an insurance broker," I already have auto insurance, I already home insurance. But I'm like, listen, I could help you grow your business if I'm talking to a professional. It's not all about, I don't even care about insurance. I want to help you first. So even if you're talking to an accountant and financial advisor, they have gold as far as their clientele. but you want to get friends with them because they have all the connections. When they have those meetings, and they always have those annual meetings, hey, you got to go talk to Jay because he or Will, you got to talk to him because you're thinking about buying a second home. You're looking for an investment property. Definitely contact. How do they know that? Because you're in their ear once a week, once a month, whatever you can consistently do. And like Jay said, merging ecosystems, I like that. As far as I'm all about connections and going deeper. I'm not selling you insurance. We're not even talking about insurance on this. I want to find out the pain points. What is going on in someone's life? And it might not be insurance. It might be selling a home. It might be you need someone to clean out your gutters. You need somebody to, cut your lawn. Those are connections now you're setting up. And then when I call my landscaper, like, listen, I just sent you like 15 people this past month. Anyone looking for insurance, they got to be helping. And if they're not, but guess what? I find another landscaper. I'm going to start posting, sending stuff to, because I need to get something in return from all the work that I'm putting in. So you're focused on a circle, like Jay was saying, your ecosystem. Love that, because you are going to grow and you're going to scale all together, because we're all in, looking for the same thing. We're all looking to help others. And it might be today I got somebody for Jay. Tomorrow he might have someone for me. And it's not like we're holding each other. We hold each other accountable each day or each week or month or what have you. But it's not like, Jay, I gave you 3 deals. How come you didn't give me 3 deals back? It doesn't always work that way. It might come back in droves down the road. I want consistency, just like Jay and just like Will. You want to have consistent business coming in and then make those phone calls. I like cold calling, but I call them connection calls, because you're just going to go deeper. You're going to find out what's going on and take notes, put it in your CRM, email drip them over time, and they're going to come back and use you because you're providing value.
Sean, you touched on something before, and it was about reciprocity. You didn't necessarily say it, but it was about reciprocity. And Will and I were literally 10 minutes ago having a conversation about reciprocity, and it's gravity. It exists. You don't have to really believe in it per se, but it exists. It's out there. Where reciprocity becomes unintegrous or out of integrity would be when you expect it from someone back in return. What we believe, and what we teach here at 194, and what I know Will believes, because we actually don't call them cold calls either. We call them impact calls or alignment calls. So before Will even came to the company, I knew that we were aligned because we had these conversations prior to. So knowing that he's aligned with these values, I know that he agrees here. But to me, it's truly about connecting, like you said, with people, but it's not about the referrals.
Right.
It's about creating something new together that will reach more. Now, Sean, me, and Will, we're on this call right now, and there may be 1 or 2 people out there that see it and say, that's great. And we have this saying, it's all the same. It's all the same thing. Well, you know what? I'm not selling homes right now, and I'm not selling homes right now. I'm not on a speaking engagement selling my skill of speaking, and I'm not doing that. Like, there's so many other things at play. Somebody sees this video and says, man, I want to have Jay and Will on my podcast. And that's another opportunity to connect with people. So we say 1 + 1 equals at least 3, but most likely about 1 trillion. So it's really about connecting with people, because those relationships lead to more, and always bringing value more importantly than anything else. And if I can connect 2 people that belong together, reciprocity sets in. And what I've done is I've socially laddered myself to whatever position that these people are at as well. So when you go on stage right now, we are, no matter what, Will's new new in the business, but honestly, right now we're on stage together. It doesn't matter where he's at. He deserves to be. So, and that's what you're showing people through these types of, engagements as well. So I love doing this. And this is why the cold calls or the impact calls or the connection calls are so important, because this is what's at stake. You don't have to make those phone calls. You also don't have to make any relationships. You also don't have to sell any homes. But if you want to, this is the way to do it. If your desire and your legacy and your why on Why Wednesday is to add value to people's lives while serving your legacy as well, what better way to do it than through real estate or through helping someone grow their business, Sean?
It's the way to go. And like you were saying, I always use the phone constantly. I use social media. And every call I have, I try to do, and I put a post that I just had an awesome call with Jay Levine today. Have you guys connected with him yet? that call, we just had a call. It doesn't matter. But I put him out there, put him on a pedestal, and told other people, you have to connect with him. Now, maybe we didn't do business together, but I also helped him. I put my name on the line, and I put him first. And I will do that for you as well, Will, because I think people say, well, you do that too often, you're going to get burned. Hey, if somebody screws up, it happens from time to time. But guess what? They're never going to get business again. That's how it works. So you always are on your A game. You're always putting everyone first. Not you, not the commission check, not what you're going to be buying with that commission check. It's all about having, and we talked about, a smooth transition from contact to closing and making sure that they're raving fans forever. And is there anything final you want to share with us, Will? We'll put you on there and give us your contact information for those that are watching. They can reach out to you.
I'd say this, that I think the biggest thing for me, just starting out and getting involved in a completely new industry, I really sought after Jay because, like he said, we connected prior, and I really liked his energy and what he brings, into this field and his approach. And I think it's really important to surround yourself with people like Jay and the team he's built here, because that's gonna give you the extra energy to succeed, and so for me, that was a big part of my transition into changing careers, because I had someone that I can be mentored by, that was doing something that I wanted to do and was doing it at the level that I want to be at. So I think it's really important to surround yourself with people like that whenever you're undertaking anything, and it's going to make it that much easier and more fun that way.
And man, Will's much smarter than me, so he's going to go way past me. So I'm ready, man.
No, you're doing awesome, man. How did they get in contact with you?
Instagram and Facebook. You can find me, will.esposito, ESPOSITO. I'm there on Facebook and Instagram.
And what's your cell phone?
My cell phone is 551-999-5418.
I appreciate you spending time with us today, Will. If you gain some value, definitely drop some comments on this live. And Jay, anything you want to follow? Anything, final words you want to share today for us?
When you have Will, you have a way home.
That's the tagline. Look at that. You got something more out of this than anything else right now. That's your whole tagline. We'll see that on business cards, on a website, everything else. That is fantastic. How is it going to sound out of your mouth? Go ahead, Will.
When you have Will, you have a way home.
When you have a Will, you have a way home.
And that is it. That was fantastic. Guys, I appreciate you, everyone watching. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. Take care.